friends, happy Mishmas. Today is day 19. Oh my gosh. Wow. For a while there, I was like, this is taking way too long. And now I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe we're coming to the end. Day 19. So let's hit these advent calendars. Here is my coffee. I'm sorry if you hear that buzzing. That's my ice maker. So here is day 19. And we've got a Diptyque Sweet Yellow. So this is from the Diptyque estate in Brazil. We had something from them earlier. Yeah, the Diptyque bourbon. This one is sweet caramel spice. Those are the notes there. Ah, sweet. Well, that sounds very interesting. All right, I'm gonna steep this and then let's do Joe Malone and Diptyque. All right, so we're looking for 19. Let's see that there. Ah, here is 19. Ooh, another perfume. This is Jasmine, Sambuc, and Marigold. Ooh, I've been loving these ones coming in the like tinted glass. Ooh, that's nice. It's like, you get a sense of like a light floral at first, and then it gets almost like a little more masculine. I've really been liking these. They're like a nice mixture of like feminine, well, you know, typically feminine and masculine notes. Oh, so lovely. All right, so that is 19 for Joe Malone. And then let's look at Diptyque. Oh, 19 is right up here. Oh, another eau de parfum. This stuck. This one is Fleur de Peau. Oh, let me spray this elsewhere. Ooh, just super fresh and clean. Ooh, that's gonna be really nice in the spring, summer. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, it's very like aquatic. Oh, lovely. Okay, well that is the Diptyque number 19. And Butters is still asleep, so let me go ahead and finish steeping this coffee and then we'll try that out. Sweet caramel spice. It's definitely a little spicy. It's a little smoky. I'm actually just not even sure what they mean by sweet. It's coffee. It's not very sweet at all. You know what? I'm going to add some milk. I was just saying that I let it steep. I don't know if you guys can see. I let it steep a little bit too long, so it's pretty dark. It's like pretty muddy. So let me cut that with some milk. It's very nice, but I think I let it steep too long. I think the ideal time, at least for that amount of coffee, which is 10 ounces worth of water, I think the ideal time is 4 minutes to let it steep. And I just got sucked into, I was texting back and forth with a friend, and I think I let it steep for much longer, probably twice as long. So it just tastes almost like it's like a little burnt, but I think that's my fault. It's nice though. I think the milk brings out like that caramel in it. It makes it a little bit less spicy, because I could definitely taste, yeah, the spice in there. Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about the worst makeup of 2021, and I'm already getting defensive here. I've got my arms crossed. I was just gonna do this as a sit-down video, but there's something about, and I would say probably most YouTube creators feel this way. You know, when I'm vlogging, I feel much more natural and at ease, you know, and I'm just chatting with you guys. And when I sit down to film a video and do like a sit down video and I turn on my camera, my lights, and I'm sitting there and I've got all my stuff in front of me, I have my notes or whatever, I feel like I'm just sort of like presenting. It's less like a chit chat and I'm more like creating a presentation for you guys with all the information that I have. And while I think that's fully appropriate for the worst makeup of 2021, I really just wanted to make it like a casual conversation, because these videos end up being, you know, fun. They're really meant to be fun. We're really meant to kind of like poke fun at some of these releases that came out over the past year. So I thought doing a vlog style would be a little bit more fun for me and for you, because then I can just sort of, I don't know, more like freely talk about why I hated these products, why I thought they were terrible. And it's not just products, it's companies that I have an issue with. There's two in particular, which we'll get into. But that's what we're gonna be doing today. So I have to take Butters to school, I have to run some errands, I'm gonna come back, get ready, and then we're gonna go into my filming room where I have all my makeup, and we're just gonna kind of sit and talk about the stuff that I didn't like. I don't have all the pieces either. A lot of the things I either decluttered, returned, passed along, all those things. So what I do have, and I do have plenty of them, I will kind of show you. So that's the plan for today, and I will see you in a little bit.
Morning stretches. Good morning, Butters. Oh, Mommy's email's going crazy. How did you sleep? Kind of slept in a little bit this morning. Do you want to open up your advent calendar?
All right, let's see what we've got for 19. Oh, it's right here. We've got, oh, some treats. We've got her lumps of coal. And by the way, I just want to mention, many of you have messaged me, which I really, really appreciate, that the Costco dog advent calendar was recalled, but that was a different brand in Canada. So this one has not been recalled. This one is still safe. So thank you for letting me know.
All right, Butters, you ready? Ready for your treat?
You missed. That was a bad throw. That was a bad throw. I'm sorry. Did you want another one? Did you want another lump of coal? Okay. Oh, there you go. All right, let's do this. Walking back to my filming area where all my makeup is, and I was just looking over this list. I get very heated thinking about some of these products, and while the first two I definitely don't even have anymore, but let's get into my room here. Let me turn on the light. Is that okay? My hair looks not, I think I need a haircut. I just took a shower, I just blow dried my hair, I just threw gel in it, and then I just put it back in this ponytail, and I think it's like, it's revolting. Anyway, let me close this door, because oh, that's better. Okay, that sunlight was like brutal. All right. Let me talk about this first thing that, I'm getting angry already. Let me talk about this first thing that's on my list that I don't have. I believe I decluttered. I think I may have sent it off to Project Beauty Share because it was very lightly used. And I've watched some of these videos already and everyone's talked about this. It's the ABH, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Iced Out Highlighter. I'll throw a picture of it up here. I think mostly why this particular release was such a disappointment was because we were all expecting something like the Amrezy highlighter. Here, this one, this beautiful baby. We were all expecting something similar. We knew it wasn't going to be the exact same shade. We thought it was going to be a little bit lighter, a little bit deeper, something similar to this. That iced out highlighter, first of all, it was beautiful. It was beautiful to look at. I really liked like the pattern on the actual, like the imprint on the pan. It was really pretty. It looked like feathers, very pretty. But the highlight, it was so strange because it was a very white gold. It was such a white gold that it looked kind of greenish. It was very, very odd. It was a very, very strange shade. I don't believe I saw it look complimentary on at least anyone on YouTube that I saw talk about it, and it was such a disappointment. So I think it was a disappointment in and of itself, but I think it was a huge disappointment because we were all expecting like a small miracle like this Amrezy highlight, which I still love. I don't know if I'll ever get rid of this. So that is definitely number one on my list. Number two on my list, I have on my list, it's the Fenty Beauty, like their skin tint. Again, I'll throw a picture of it up here. And this skin tint, I think, again, it was sort of the same situation, at least for me. I had really high hopes for it. I had seen a lot of reviews, a lot of demos on YouTube, and it looked beautiful on everyone else's skin. But on my skin, it just looked, I'm trying to remember because this is a while ago and I've gotten rid of that as well. It was kind of dry. I think that was my issue. It wasn't moisturizing or glowy or anything that I expect from a skin tint, or smoothing or anything. I feel like it created dry patches that I didn't necessarily have, like it clung onto dry skin that I didn't even know that I had, and it just looked dull. It didn't even look like, oh, it's a soft matte or it's a matte finish or whatever. It's great for like, you know, the warmer weather. No, it just made my skin look really, really dull. And I was so disappointed in that because again, I had really high hopes. So that is number 2 on my list. Number 3 on my list, I'm actually going to combine with other things on my list because, and you guys have heard me rant about this already, but I'm gonna put this under, or I'm gonna put it all into one package and just call it Chanel. Chanel, what are you doing? I thought this last holiday collection was very, very poor. I felt it was a very dial it in kind of collection. I don't think it was horrible. I don't think it was like the worst collection I had ever seen. There are some pieces from the collection that I enjoyed, but that liquid eyeshadow that I've already decluttered was, did not work for me. It just didn't work for me. And I don't think I'm the only one. I'm pretty sure I saw a lot of comments commiserating with me, a lot of comments, you know, can you try it this way? I tried it every way. I've tried it on top of primer, no primer, on top of powder, no powder, on top of eyeshadow, under eyeshadow. I mean, I think I even tried it a few different ways in the video. It just doesn't, you know, and I've let it set down and then try and like blended it out. I've tried to not let it set down too much and blended it out. I've tried, you know, applying with the brush, all the many, many different ways you can try and apply liquid eyeshadow, and none of them worked. I thought this quad was pretty disappointing. You know, I didn't mind the look that I got. The shadows performed decently, but again, nothing special. There was nothing really, I don't know, unique or like a little bit of a surprise, because a lot of times you can see an eyeshadow that looks like this one maybe, like a white kind of metallic, and then when you get it on the skin, you'll see, oh wow, like there's a little bit of like a peachiness to it, or oh wow, there's like a deeper gold in there that I didn't expect. No, nothing. It's just this sort of like whitish kind of gold shade. And the same for all the others. Just, I don't know, just kind of bland. And this was supposed to commemorate the Chanel No. 5, the 100th anniversary. It's the holiday. So I don't know, I just expected a little bit more pizzazz, and it was lacking exactly that, pizzazz. It's okay. So I had an issue, obviously, with the holiday collection, but my biggest issue with Chanel this past year was their blush reformulation. Now, earlier this year, Chanel reformulated all of their blushes, and they added some new shades. I think they kind of pared down some of the older shades that they had. And I was really, really nervous because I still love the older Chanel blush formula. So I'm just holding up one example because this is shade number 260, Alizane. This is the older one. This is the newer one. So they didn't even bother to make it the same shade, the actual like same color. They didn't even bother to do that. This one is deeper. So now you just can't even get the older one at all. I don't care that they call it the same thing. It's completely different. And then the formula is just so much drier. Like the older Chanel blushes, they're baked. So they're not this like creamy formula, but there's something even drier about the newer blushes. I don't even know if I can demonstrate that. But here is, yeah, there's something very silky about the older blushes, and the sheen of all of the Chanel blushes, whether or not they had more micro glitters in there or not, like some of the Chanel blushes had a lot of micro glitters in there. Some of them leaned a little bit more towards like a soft matte, but they all had a really beautiful, like soft sheen to them. These new ones just look, well, you can see right there, they're not very pigmented. So not only are they less pigmented, but they're lacking a certain sheen to them. They're very dry looking. And then, I don't understand. Yeah, there's like literally like no pigment in this new one. And then this one has like micro glitters in there. So it's like one of those annoying eyeshadows that's just like a matte shadow with some glitters in it. That's what this blush is. And look at the difference in that shade. And what's so weird is this is the new one that looks deeper in the pan, but that's how light the pigmentation is. It's just very, very weird. I really don't know why they reformulated it. It just seemed, not only is it completely unnecessary, because I believe most people who experienced the Chanel blushes really enjoyed them, but why, I don't know why you would do this to them. Why? Why would you do this to them? So I don't know. I'm like hoping and praying for a miracle that they go back to their previous blush formula, because I still don't understand why they would do it. You know, like why fix something that's not broken? It's just such a shame. So I was really, really annoyed and really ticked off at that towards the beginning of the year, and just, I'm just still so upset. Like I haven't really been talking about Chanel blushes at all because I'm just so upset. So anyway, I still haven't gotten over it. So that's Chanel. I just feel like overall, this past year, there was some decent Chanel in there. And with the departure of their creative director, their ex-creative director, Lucia Pica, I feel like any collections that I kind of liked from Chanel this past year were probably influenced by her before she left. That's just speculation. I have no idea. I have no evidence of that. But I get the sense of that. And then all the things that I don't really like, I feel like she did not have a hand in. Like this holiday collection, I don't feel like had her stamped on it at all. That was definitely from someone else. And I really liked what she did with Chanel Beauty. I know that is up for debate, but I really enjoyed the collections that they've come out with over the past few years. But this year in particular, I was really disappointed in Chanel, like just overall. Like I said, there were some things that were fine that I really enjoyed, you know, their highlighter stick or their highlighter fluids or whatever, but yeah, overall, I just feel like I'm like side-eyeing Chanel a little bit. All right, the next most disappointing products, this is another sort of family of products, are the Tom Ford quads this past year. Again, just like Chanel, there were some quads in there that I really enjoyed, but there were some that I just was not impressed with, and I just thought like why? Like why did we do this? One is the Naked Pink palette. Now, it's fine. I got a decent look out of it. If you like a soft, fairly neutral, warm leaning kind of look, it's fine. But my one main issue with this is that it's called Naked Pink, and there's no pink in here. There's no pink at all. It's very peach. It's definitely warm leaning. I was expecting something that was pinker and a little bit more neutral, cool leaning, and I got like another kind of like peachy, light peachy palette. We have a lot of light peachy palettes. And again, if that's your thing and you like that, then, you know, this is fine. But like, why? Why did we need to come out with this? I don't really understand. So that was one kind of like a minor disappointment, more like an eyebrow raise. Okay, my battery just died and I decided I should just sit on the floor because I'm going through my Tom Ford quad drawer and I'm trying to look for those two Beaujolais, the wet dry quads that he came out with this year that I really did not like. One was Rose Prisme, the Rose Prism one, and then one was, I don't remember the name, but it was like denim something. It was the blue one. And again, I'll flash pictures of it. I have those somewhere. I mean, you guys saw me review them. I would not have returned them because I do sort of collect Tom Ford quads. So I don't know what I do with them, but I just went through all of my quads here and I can't find them. Yeah, I pretty much have most, it's not a white one, right? No, it was in the brown packaging. I don't know what I did with them. So strange. So strange. Some of these I don't even remember. Oh, Visionaire. Remember when these like two random quads came out? I think this was last year. They were okay. They were okay. But the Rose Prism, yeah, and that denim one, I really don't know what I did with them. I don't know if I like set them aside for this video that I knew I'd include them in. Anyway, I was disappointed in those, and I like tried them on camera with you guys, and I was very disappointed. The Rose Prism one, I thought had so much potential. There was that one shade in there that could have been called like an opal shade. It was like a very light, like pinky purple shade. And it could have been so beautiful, but it just lacked any oomph. There wasn't enough pigment, I don't think. And what I love about those wet dry eyeshadows from Tom Ford is that you can apply them in a light way and you still get like a beautiful effect, or you can build it up, or you can use them wet and have like a really strong impact. But that eyeshadow just, it didn't have like any oomph at all, at least the way I used it dry. I even like layered it up. nothing, yeah, there was just like nothing happened with that eyeshadow. And I felt the same way about the blue one, which was so deep and so dark, but I thought, wow, like I really, really have to build up these shadows to get the impact that I expected to get just with like one swipe. And I'm not talking impact in terms of like a lot of pigmentation, because for me, those wet, dry eyeshadows, that's not what they're about. They're about this very kind of like soft touch, but just such an ethereal, gauzy, like cotton candy kind of like effect on your eyes. And they're so beautiful, but those I just felt like, I don't know, they're a little bit dry. They were just a little bit lacking. So those were just such a disappointment to me. And yeah, so those 3 quads I would say were the biggest disappointment to me in terms of Tom Ford. And usually when it comes to his quads, I'm good. Like I like them. There's only a handful of quads that I don't like, that I feel like, ugh, like this one is just, it's not good quality, or this color story is like hideous, whatever the case is. But I like 99% of them. And so in 1 year to have 3 that I really just stand out don't like, it's kind of sad. All right, while we're down here, because I'm sitting in front of this drawer. Oh my God, I'm making a mess. The Pat McGrath Holiday Quads. Now this is still fresh on my mind because I just talked about how, how I did not like these. So, and I'm getting these all mixed up. You know, I kind of have a little bit of an issue with Pat McGrath in general. I love Pat McGrath, like Tom Ford, like Chanel. I still love the line. I still love the brand. I'm still gonna run out and probably buy all their new releases for sure. I'm excited for the Bridgerton collab, by the way, which is coming out the day after Christmas, right on Boxing Day. So I'm getting that for sure. Anyway, the 2 quads that came out with for holiday, I did not like. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out which ones they were. It's not this one. I think it's these 2. Deep Space Divinity. Is that it? I really cannot keep track of all these different names. Hold on. Yes, this is one. Deep Space Divinity. Bronze Borealis. Is this the other one? I keep all the packaging, and that used to help me differentiate between all the different quads or whatever, but they all, again, it's all running together. Yes, I think, look at this, it's a mess too. So this one is Bronze Borealis. Well, first of all, I didn't like that there were smaller pans in here. That I thought was kind of annoying. And 2 shades out of both of the quads were similar. And then, strangely enough, I felt like even when I used the 2 other shades that aren't similar in these 2 quads, my look was kind of the same. It was so strange. I was like, I feel like I kind of came up with the same look out of both of these quads. And, you know, the quality was fine, I felt like. But again, this is like holiday. This is like for the holidays. And these were so, I don't know, unspecial. It's kind of like that Chanel quad. Just like this is what you like saved up for the holidays? This? Really? Like the larger Celestial Divinity one, right? Am I using the right words? Celestial Divinity? Yes. Oh, that's the old one. Celestial Odyssey, excuse me. Celestial Odyssey. Like this one I really liked because this was fun, right? Holiday, a lot of fun shades. I love this like minty green color. A really nice kind of play on the holidays. These 2 quads though, no ma'am, no ma'am. This is not holiday to me. This is, and I like boring eyeshadow, but I don't want boring eyeshadow from Pat McGrath. These were boring. They were lackluster, boring. These are, if I dare say, uninspired. These are uninspired quads. And I was really kind of disappointed in these. And I do feel like when it comes to Pat McGrath, what I expect, what she is synonymous with, is innovation. She is such an incredible makeup artist, and nothing will ever change that. I mean, she is a genius. But her makeup line, I feel like we're just kind of seeing a lot of the same, a lot of the same. And even her latest Mothership palette, this one, the Utopian Dream, You know, I really like the color story. I did have an issue that this was not a baked shadow. And a lot of people commented in my video when I talked about this, and they're like, well, that is a special shade. It's like a multi-chrome. And I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for in this quad though. This is supposed to be 4 baked shades. I happen to really like, as you know, like those Tom Ford wet dry eyeshadows. I really like a baked formula. That's what I'm looking for in these. And for them to have taken away one of the, why didn't they put that, you know, here in place of like this shade, which I feel like is like showing up in almost every palette now. Just take away that one, put that one there, and give me a baked shade. So I was a little disappointed in that. I did like this color story. I thought it was really pretty, but baked. I want a baked shade in there. So a little disappointed in that as well. And yeah, I hope to see just some, I don't know, fun, different things. So I'm hoping in 2022, Pat brings us some, you know, more innovation. Like when those Mothership palettes first came out, it was like, wow, these are great. Her highlighters that she came out with this year, I thought were really great. The like the baked ones, those are really lovely. But like, what is she doing with her lipstick line? She got rid of all of those Luxe Trance lipsticks, which were phenomenal. So yeah, I'm very, very interested to see what she does with her line in 2022. All right, where's my phone? Okay, it's on. What's next on my list? Okay, this I don't think was a complete fail. It was just a disappointment. And they're right behind me here. I have them all. I went out and bought all of them. But the Hermes blushes, I mean, they're pretty, they're okay, but there's just nothing special about them. Like there's the rose color. I like my Laura Mercier blushes more than this. I like my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate duos more than this. And it's not like, you know, Hermes isn't like Pat McGrath, right? It's not like I'm expecting the most innovative, brand new formula of makeup. But when it comes to Hermes, I do expect something luxurious. I do expect something maybe a little bit different. I expect something to at least be a little bit special. You know, the packaging is fine. You know, it's magnetic. It's really quite beautiful. I believe these are refillable packages, which is really nice and very thoughtful. But the blush itself, I don't know. Maybe it would have been nice if they were baked gelée. I would have loved that. Would have been nice if maybe they had a really kind of like soft satin sheen. These are just like a soft matte, like powder blush. Like there's really just nothing unique, special. There's nothing there's nothing inspired about these. They're so basic that okay, like why? Why did these need to happen? That's my question with these. Why did these need to happen? They're not bringing anything to the table at all with their blushes. So just disappointing, you know, not horrible makeup because they're nice. The colors are nice. They apply nicely, but just nothing here that you can't get literally pretty much anywhere else. And now I'm gonna bitch about packaging. I know I'm in the minority. I know I am regarding this Gucci palette because I know a lot of people purchase this because of the packaging. Now, I don't like this packaging because it is needlessly gigantic. I mean, it is so big. And I don't mind a big palette. I love the Pat McGrath Mothership packaging. I think it's really luxe. But this just seems like bulky for no reason, especially because this palette, now didn't do it this time, of course, because I'm showing you guys, but almost every single time I'll just open up this lid, this whole thing will be out and just pop out. Look at how dinky this is. Look at how flat this is. So why? And like, what is this? I appreciate refillable packaging, but like, am I gonna refill like an entire like 12 pan palette? I would have much preferred, although I know that's probably a much higher cost manufacturing wise, but like, why didn't you just make the shadows like pop out? I don't understand what's going on here. I just don't get it. And it's odd. There's so much wasted space. Everything else is beautiful. I love the oval mirror. That's really cute. I love the shape of this palette. This design is really nice, but they should have just They just should have, oh, see, it's popping out already. And this seems really flimsy. It just seems really, really cheap, like really cheap. So yeah, very, very unimpressed with this packaging. The eyeshadows were fine. I actually really liked the look I got. Sorry, I had to change my position again. I had to close my door. Anyway, so I was disappointed in this packaging. Despite its pretty face, its guts are very, very poor. The soul of this compact is very, very poor. Very disappointed. So I just hate this palette now because it's so big, and every time I see it and have to like move it around to get to like other palettes, I'm annoyed. I'm really, really annoyed. So that is the first bit of packaging that was a disappointment this past year. So the second bit of packaging that I have a bone to pick with is this Valentino packaging. So Valentino Beauty, they only had perfumes before. They came out with makeup. I was really excited for the makeup. A lot of the makeup is lovely. It's fine. The packaging is terrible. Look at this packaging. It's almost worse than drugstore. This like red plastic, it's almost like a toy car. It looks terrible. It looks terrible. It feels terrible. And this isn't the only thing. The lipstick, I think, was the worst. This is their refillable bronzer. So this goes into their case. Now, this sits in this like plastic case. And I get it. This is a refillable thing. So this is just holding a refill, basically. It's a refill holder. And then inside is the actual refill. But do you see, I mean, you can get a sense of how cheap the red plastic is. Do you see how cheap even like this refill is? When you were little, did you ever like play with models and stuff and all the pieces came in that like plastic frame and you would pop them out and then you'd end up with this plastic frame that you tossed and it had like all the little pieces sticking out where like the pieces for the model actually sat in? That's what this thing reminds me of. It reminds me of one of those plastic toy piece holders or whatever they came in. I don't even know what you call it. But you know what I'm saying? Anyway, just so cheap. And the makeup is lovely. The makeup is really nice. Like, I love this bronzer. I love their cream products. But the cheap packaging really, really takes away from it. And the fact that this is Valentino Beauty is just such a disappointment. Such a disappointment. I've said this before and I'll say it again. When it comes to luxury beauty, the biggest difference between luxury beauty and non-luxury beauty is the packaging. It's the experience. It's the experience from beginning to end, from the shopping experience to the customer service, all of those things, down to the packaging. It's very, very important because it's part of the entire experience. And when you're missing the packaging in luxury beauty, you're like missing half the experience, at least in my book. That's how I see it. And it was really sad. It was really sad to discover this about Valentino Beauty. I can't get over how cheap this lipstick case is. This is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Okay, do you have question? Chanel, Hermes, Pat McGrath, Valentine. Okay, that's it. That's all that's on my list. Yeah, other than that, I mean, overall, I feel like this year has been actually a really, really good year for makeup releases. There was a point, I think, coming out of 2019 going into 2020 where I was like, all these makeup releases, I felt like I was kind of seeing the same thing over and over again. But this year, I think was pretty good. I feel like I made some really decent discoveries. I already did my best of 2021, which was really hard to do. And I think that's when I realized, I was like, this was a good year for makeup because I had a lot of decisions to make for that video. But I'm gonna sit down and come up with a list of like my all-time favorite, like top product in every category, top luxury makeup product in every category, and film that soon for Mishmas. I'm actually gonna take a look at the video that I did last year and just make sure that there would actually be some updates. If not, that video is still good. But yeah, I'm gonna take a look at that and possibly do an update. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off and edit this video and get this up for you on day 19. So thanks again so much for tuning into Mishmas, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.